I told you, motherfuckers. What did you just watch?
And Crawford mugged him. It's that simple. He had to go through a bad neighborhood to get anything done, to get to the place that something was going to be done good.
Yeah.
And he got mugged.
I was shocked, but he's a GOAT. He's one of the GOATs.
Hamza, I want to apologize on behalf of Terrence Crawford. He just messed up your bag, man.
I know, bro.
He messed up your bag. What's up?
You say that, though. You say that. But listen, God's got a greater plan, innit?
Prosper, and I got to give credit where credit is due. I picked him to win by decision, but I never expected. I expected the boxing superiority. What I didn't expect was for him to stand there and exchange and survive. And he did that on several occasions.
The impossible has just happened. History was made only minutes ago, and the entire boxing world can't stop talking about it.
You know, Crawford is a great fighter. He's a fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great.
It's Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson. I really did.
Canelo Alvarez.
Man, I knew it. I knew it already. I had been texting him. He's doing training camp. I saw how his body stood about 168. I'm like, man, y'all crazy. Still, they always talking about size. Still.
Thank you. Que viva Mexico, cabrones!
Terrence Bud Crawford has done the unthinkable. He defeated Canelo Alvarez in a showdown that fans are already calling one of the greatest fights of the year. The shockwaves from this result are being felt everywhere, and the reactions from fighters, analysts, and legends of the sport are pouring in.
He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 38, 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terrence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terrence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that.
For years, many believed Canelo Alvarez was untouchable at the higher weight. His resume, his dominance, and his reputation for breaking down opponents seemed unmatched. But tonight, that aura of invincibility was shattered. Crawford, with a masterful performance that some have described as an absolute schooling, walked into the ring and delivered one of the most dominant displays anyone has ever seen against the Mexican superstar.
I know it. On points, bro, crazy.
How did you have it?
I had him up, bro, convincingly.
Is he awesome number one, Dre?
Awesome. Hey, science of the sport. This guy adapts. I knew it.
How did you know he was going to win? Why?
He's got too much ammunition. You know, southpaw, orthodox, on the back foot. That's what changes good from great is knowing how to adapt. You know, back foot, front foot, that's the difference.
From the very first bell, Crawford set the tone. He didn't just fight to survive, he fought to dominate. He controlled the pace, shut down Canelo's offense, and left no room for him to settle into his rhythm. Analysts watching from ringside were stunned. It was not just a victory, but a dismantling, a master class that showed Crawford's greatness in every single round.
Yes, I am. Yeah, listen, I definitely think that Crawford can win the fight. And I've been picking him because of the confidence that he breeds, but I just think on reflection, looking at the torsos at the evening ceremonial weigh-in, doesn't mean everything, but I've just got a feeling Canelo's going to control the fight in quite a technical affair, but a 115, 113, 116, 112 kind of ting.
Ting, yeah?
Kind of ting.
Among the first to react was none other than veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas. Atlas has always been known for his honesty, and on this night his words carried even more weight. He had been confident in Crawford leading up to the fight, and the performance validated everything he had been saying. In his view, Canelo was never allowed to find a position to throw a legitimate punch. Crawford smothered him, outthought him, and outboxed him at every turn. Atlas described the fight as a mugging inside the squared circle, a complete takeover by Bud.
It became a fight where Crawford made it where Canelo, to have any chance, he had to go get close. So he had to go through a bad neighborhood.
Yep.
And Crawford mugged him. It's that simple. He had to go through a bad neighborhood to get anything done, to get to the place that something was going to be done good.
Yeah.
And he got mugged going through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, if I think about it, if I do come back, can you train me?
We're not even,
please. I'm asking you right
Are
now
you
if I
kidding me?
do.
Do they have commercials on this thing?
Then came the voice of one of Crawford's longtime rivals, Teofimo Lopez. For years, Lopez has shared a complicated relationship with Bud, but tonight he set differences aside and gave credit where it was due. Lopez praised Crawford's brilliance, saying that he had already seen this outcome coming. He reminded everyone that his own analysis had pointed toward Crawford having the edge in this matchup, and now the results stood as proof. For Lopez, it was less about rivalry and more about acknowledging history.
What I think, I was right. I think I called it right, but I just said that he will edge it.
Yeah.
Nah, but he really showed out.
Yeah.
I was right though.
You
I
said
did,
you said that Canelo's feet were very heavy, bro. In this fight, they look super heavy, bro. His feet, like I've never seen him like that, bro.
You just start seeing a fighter gradually start decreasing.
Yeah.
You see the other one resting long period of time, but that didn't give him an issue.
Bro,
So,
the word the fans are gonna use, oh, he was washed, but where's he at in terms of his prime? How can you gauge it?
doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight. Did we
Yeah.
not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Oscar De La Hoya, a man who has had his own long-standing tensions with Canelo, also seized the moment to react. De La Hoya didn't hold back. He mocked Canelo, throwing satirical jabs and reminding fans that the performance they had just witnessed was something special from Crawford. In his eyes, this wasn't just another fight, it was one of the finest displays of boxing brilliance he had ever seen, and he claimed he had anticipated it all along.
I told you, motherfuckers. What did you just watch? I only speak the facts.
But the significance of this victory goes far beyond one night or one rival. This wasn't just another win on Crawford's record. This was history. With this victory, Terrence Crawford became the first fighter ever to be undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. Let that sink in. 3 divisions, 3 crowns, all held by one man. His record now stands at a flawless 42-0, and he is officially a 3-time undisputed champion. That's something no fighter in the modern era has ever achieved. Crawford made sure to remind everyone after the fight that this was the goal he had set his eyes on long ago. Tonight, he made that dream a reality.
What a beautiful masterpiece tonight, champ. How you feeling?
I feel great. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can be a nobody. Like I said, a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people said I haven't fought anybody. I can't sell. I don't have no personality. They just wrote me off for years and years, and it all came to a halt tonight.
And it was the moment never seemed too big for you. You seemed to answer all of the questions, whether you could take the punch, whether the pressure would be too much, how the weight would feel. None of those seemed to be factors tonight.
Not at all. Like I said before, you know, I've always sparred bigger guys. I never sparred smaller guys because I was too strong for him. I used to just bully him around, so.
Reactions kept pouring in. Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of the WBC, couldn't hide his admiration. He praised Crawford's grit, his power, and his flawless execution inside the ring. In Sulaiman's view, this was not just a fight. It was a beautiful performance, something the boxing world will be celebrating and remembering for decades to come.
Beautiful performance, tremendous night for boxing.
Yeah.
And he had a game plan, he performed, and he deserves all the recognition.
Yeah. What would you like to see next from him?
To have a nice vacation and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Let him rest. He deserves all the time.
Yeah.
To really enjoy what he has just accomplished.
His performance was pretty clean cut. Is there a need for a rematch though? Canelo came on a little bit late, but
that's different. They took a long time to prepare for this great fight.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy, let them have a rest, and we'll see what's next.
Arguably, Canelo's the greatest Mexican of all time, but where's he at this point in his career, man? What do you think went wrong? I know you really...
This is boxing.
Yeah.
Yesterday or today, he was a great.
On the other side, Hamza Shiraz, who had been loudly backing Canelo in the build-up, suddenly found himself facing tough questions. Critics wasted no time reminding him of the bold predictions he had made. But to his credit, Shiraz didn't backtrack. He admitted he had been wrong. He openly acknowledged that Crawford proved him wrong with a dominant performance, and that Bud has now solidified his place among the greatest fighters of all time. In Shiraz's own words, this was the performance of a true GOAT.
Yeah, no, it's boxing, isn't it? It's boxing. It's one of them things. God's got a greater plan.
Do you think it actually could still happen, you and Canelo?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't think it'll happen pretty soon, though. I think he'll have a bit of time off and we'll see what happens.
Hands up.
Do you think Crawford will stay at the weight, or should stay at the weight?
I reckon he will stay it because he looked good at it. He looked strong at it.
Did he seem hurt in there at all?
Nah, not at all, man. He was eating them punches, bro. I was shocked, but he's a GOAT. He's one of the GOATs.
Hamza, I want to apologize on behalf of Terrence Crawford. He just messed up your bag, man.
I know, bro.
He messed up your bag. What's up?
You say that, though. You say that, but listen, God's got a greater plan, innit? God's got a greater plan, and it'd even be an honor to share the ring with him.
Then came the voice of Stephen A. Smith, always known for his bold takes. Smith stepped up to claim his credit. He had predicted a Crawford win by decision. And now, after watching the fight unfold exactly as he had envisioned, he couldn't help but remind everyone. While giving Crawford full praise for his skill set, Smith said what impressed him the most was how Bud kept Canelo off him, neutralized his attack, and executed the game plan perfectly. Even Smith admitted that the performance went beyond his expectations.
Not surprised. I'm picking the win by decision coming in this fight. Watching Canelo, seeing his career, expected he wasn't going to get knocked out, especially by the smaller man. But did Crawford have enough power and boxing skill to beat Canelo off of him to some degree? For the most part, that answer was yes. But then he stepped in there and he exchanged back and forth on several occasions and survived and prospered. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I picked him to win by decision, but I never expected. I expected the boxing superiority. What I didn't expect was for him to stand there and exchange and survive. And he did that on several occasions, and that's why Crawford deserves so much credit.
Sean Porter, a former opponent of Crawford and someone who knows firsthand what it's like to share the ring with him, also delivered his thoughts. Porter was left stunned by what he had seen. He described the fight as something that amazed him, not just because of the result, but because of how intentional and focused Crawford was. He pointed out that every move, every punch, every adjustment from Bud showed persistence and a burning will to win. To Porter, this was proof that Crawford is on another level. Seeing Canelo Alvarez lose in such a fashion was shocking to him, but at the same time, it confirmed just how special Crawford is.
You know, I just saw it very intentional and a very a guy who was, you know, not willing to lose, you know, and that's what Canelo's gonna see on Fight Night. Be there in just a second.
And so, the night ended with the boxing world united in its amazement. Terrence "Bud" Crawford didn't just win a fight, he made history. He did what many thought was impossible, beating a man who had ruled the higher divisions for years. He silenced the doubters, shut down the critics, and walked away as a 3-division undisputed champion.
I've been calling Crawford since this fight was made, when it was talked about, when Crawford was even a bigger underdog. And I just got tired of everybody saying, oh, he's too big. He's too... What about the other guy being too quick, too fast? And I said from the beginning that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It's got none. It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight.
This fight will not just be remembered for the punches thrown or the rounds scored. It will be remembered as a turning point in boxing history. Fans, fighters, and analysts will be talking about this night for years, maybe even decades. The reactions from across the sport prove it. This was more than just another headline. This was greatness on display.
He boxed a beautiful performance, a beautiful night, kind of like I thought it would be. Took a page out of Eric Sunday Law's book and made it work for himself.
Would you like to see Canelo retire after that?
I said what Canelo want to do. Canelo been carrying boxing for the last 15 years. He deserves to do anything he want to do.
Terrence Crawford's 37. Devin Haney said he thinks he would like him to retire. Do you agree with that statement?
He can do whatever he wants to do. He's been dominating for a long time too, so he can do whatever he wants to do. I would like to see him retire because it would be hard for anybody to top that, and they definitely put him on the top 5 list. And he's been stay there because he hasn't been beaten.
Last question. Is Terrence Crawford the greatest of all time?
Absolutely the greatest of all time.
Where does he rank?
I don't know, but he's not the greatest of all time. Absolutely the greatest of all time.
Crawford's legacy is now cemented. His record speaks volumes. His achievements are unmatched. And his name has officially entered the conversation of the all-time greats. Tonight, Terrence Crawford didn't just beat Canelo Alvarez. He wrote his name into history books forever.
Remember everything you said, because Crawford deserves all of that. All of that. Crawford was incredible. Honestly, in the pocket, he was at times showing Canelo, no, I'm stronger than you. I'm going to bully you. Oh, you think you're going to get me in the clinch because you're Mr. 168? No, look at the size of me. I'm jacked as well. I'm swole. And he was moving Canelo around. So by doing that, he got his respect. He didn't switch to orthodox once, stayed in the southpaw stance because he realized early, oh, Canelo don't like this. Canelo does not like this southpaw stance. Canelo's tripping over himself. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to switch it. No, I like this work. I'm going to stay here.
And as the cameras stopped rolling and the arena slowly emptied, one truth remained. Fans around the world had just witnessed something unforgettable. The reign of Terrence "Bud" Crawford as one of boxing's greatest has never been clearer. The question now isn't whether he's great, it's how high his name should sit on the list of legends.
We have to obviously give credit to the absolute brilliance. There is no other word. Brilliance of Terrence Crawford. I believe Canelo claimed that he's better than Mayweather. Terrence Crawford done things that Floyd Mayweather would never do. Terrence Crawford's been undisputed. Floyd Mayweather's never been undisputed. He's been undisputed 3 times. He has tried his best, because people will say, well, he beat Errol Spence, who was past it. How long did Crawford chase Errol Spence, even before the car crash? Do you remember that Al Heyman and PBC in 2019, when Terrence Crawford was WBO champion, they actually said on PBC that they are going to stop recognizing the WBO as a legitimate title.
And that's it for today. What do you think? Was this the greatest win of Crawford's career or the biggest loss of Canelo's? Drop your reactions in the comments right now. Hit that like button if you were shocked by tonight's result. And don't forget to subscribe to Ring Rivalry for more Fight Night drama, predictions, and boxing breakdowns. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned because the best is yet to come.